Q37 has the potential to be one of the nicest sounding platforms out there. However, there are some things you can do to this exhaust system that will make it sound horrible. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you very much for stopping in, and thank you so much for helping us all reach the 3,000 subscriber mark just a couple of days ago. I wanted to hit it by the end of 2019, January 1st, 2020. We didn't quite get there, but 20 days later, I think January 20th, we hit it. So thank you guys very much for following along. Anyway, I just want to do a quick little video today and talk a little bit about some of the things that you could do, the decisions you could make that would actually ruin the exhaust system you have on your Q50, G37, 370Z. Both in, sound quality, but also in performance. We all know, like I said at the beginning of the video, this platform really has a nice exhaust note if you set up the exhaust system properly, and it performs really well in terms of horsepower and torque. But there are some decisions that people seem to make every once in a while that both can potentially ruin performance and really make the car sound awful. I get the question all the time, should I do this or should I do that? Should I combine this part with this part? Should I get this or that? So hopefully this can address some of those questions here today. But before I get going, I want to say that in celebration of reaching this 3,000 subscriber milestone, I have decided to do another giveaway, and I think you're going to like it. I will say that I can't announce it yet because I'm not ready. I'm still putting a couple of things together, but probably in the next video we'll announce it. But it involves parts. So you might want to stick around. Also, working on a little partnership here, and it has something to do with something that I have coming in the mail tomorrow. So I might combine those two videos and both explain the partnership and how it's going to benefit you all, but also that giveaway as well. So stick around. All right, so let's get started with this video. I imagine that a lot of you watching are thinking the first thing that I'm going to say is a muffler delete, but I'm not, because a muffler delete, in my opinion, isn't that bad of an option. Of course, there are some things like Remark out there, or some companies like Remark that make essentially a muffler delete. We all know what this is. If you want to just cut the muffler off and have a muffler shop, bend up some pipe for you and put some tips back on, it's a good option. We all know that you may lose a little bit of torque, low end, with the muffler delete, just because we're changing up the geometry and the flow dynamics and all this stuff of the exhaust system, but not that big of a deal, right? It doesn't sound too bad. Some people don't like how it sounds. I think it sounded amazing. I had it for myself for a little bit as a temporary option. But I was pleased. So I'm not going to say that is a way to ruin your exhaust system, although some of you might disagree. What I will say will ruin your exhaust system, however, is a resonator delete. Do not remove the resonators. I don't care if you keep the muffler in line or not. If you take the resonators out, the car is going to be super raspy. The VQ is known for raspiness, and the resonators are what eliminates that sound, that metally, tinny, tangy, whatever noise that this engine makes. So please do not cut them off, especially if you have a muffler delete. But just don't. Now, if you're searching aftermarket options, this next one is probably not going to be an issue for you, because I don't think there are any options out there. But if you're going the custom route, do not go over 2.5-inch diameter exhaust unless you're doing single exit. Couple reasons. I do get a little bit of pushback on this topic, but it is difficult to explain how exhaust systems work through the comment section or through messages on Instagram. You really do have to have an understanding how exhaust flow and velocity and scavenging and back pressure and how all of that works and how all of it works together in order to understand this concept, really. But just trust me, if you're going with a dual exhaust setup, you don't want to go larger than 2.5 inches. I've done some other videos explaining how this can have an impact on performance in terms of horsepower and torque. Go check those out if you want some deeper information. But anything larger than 2.5 inches, you're going to start experiencing loss in torque. You might stay about the same horsepower. You might even gain a couple of horsepower over a 2.5-inch setup going with a 3, for example, but your torque is going to dramatically decrease, which is already the weak point of these cars. So just stay away from anything larger than 2.5. Unless you're going single exit, then 3 is fine. But the point is, don't go too large in terms of diameter. Bigger is not always better. It just isn't. Another way to ruin the exhaust system of your Q, G, or Z car is to straight pipe it. some people have different definitions of what straight piping is, but generally it means taking the pipe directly from the catalytic converters and going straight back. No crossover, no mufflers. It's just a straight shot of pipe all the way back. Sounds awful. Don't do it. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube and in the Facebook groups, people that have done this, both with the 3.7 and the 3.0T, believe it or not. Don't. Sounds bad. Another way you can ruin your exhaust system is going with test pipes without a muffler. So muffler delete and test pipes, no bueno. It doesn't sound terrible when you have it pinned and you're up in the higher RPM ranges. It kind of sounds like a race car, but when you're at lower end, like say you're cruising down the road, 2,000 RPM or something like that, 40 mile an hour, and you push the gas, getting it from that 2,000 RPM up to 4,000 RPM, it sounds horrendous. Another thing is, I would say, I'm all for finding deals, but I would say do not get low quality mufflers and resonators. And it doesn't necessarily mean cheap, because I've used some relatively inexpensive resonators in the past that were really high quality, and you can find those. You just got to do a little bit of research. But if you get some crappy mufflers or crappy resonators, you will be able to tell in your exhaust note. Just do a YouTube search. Raspiness, materials falling out of the mufflers or the resonators, the packing material, just crappy sounds, rattles, the muffler's not lasting very long. It's just not good. So just make sure you do your research. I'm not saying don't buy cheap. I'm saying don't buy low quality. Another way to ruin your exhaust system, in my opinion, is to get test pipes. Resonated test pipes, I guess, are really the only ones that come like this, but to get resonated test pipes with flex pipe. I'm not sure all of the options that are out there with flex pipe in them, but Megan Racing is one of them in particular. Stay away from it, just because the flex pipe portion really can't seem to handle the heat. They break, they get brittle, you get leaks, and just changing out test pipes is the B word, let me tell you. Finally, I'll say a way to ruin your exhaust system on your Q50 or any car or truck for that matter is to have a shop that doesn't know what they're doing work on your vehicle. It seems pretty self-explanatory, I know, but you'll be surprised at some of the chunky ass welds that you see come through an exhaust shop. Luckily, I have a good shop that I like to work with, Inman Muffler in Inman, South Carolina. Hopefully you can find a decent one in your area as well if you get any custom work done or have any mufflers or resonators welded in line to an existing system. But chunky welds are no good. Bad welds are no good. Obviously, you don't want cracks, you don't want leaks. Super sharp angles in your exhaust system are obviously no good. There's a lot that really goes into an exhaust system in terms of making it perform optimally. There are a lot of guys out there that learned how to weld and they loved making trucks loud or something like that, so they're like, hey, let's open an exhaust shop, we'll just cut mufflers off and weld straight pipes in and blah blah blah. But they don't actually know anything about the science behind an exhaust system and how it works and how it creates horsepower, and what things they could do to a system that would decrease horsepower or ruin a car's performance. Like I said, they're all about just cutting mufflers off and making trucks loud. So research the shops, do a lot of Googling, read some reviews, go ahead and visit one of these shops and get an idea if these guys actually know what the hell they're talking about or not. And that's going to help you make a decision in finding the right shop to go to, because it truly is a good option as long as you got the right guys working on it. Just to recap, muffler delete, not that bad. Muffler delete with test pipes, no good. Straight piping, no good. A diameter of an exhaust system that is too big for your car's output, not good. Too small, not good either. Think about that. Test pipes with flex pipe inline, not good. Flex pipe just kind of sucks in general. Sometimes you have to have it, but it just sucks. And obviously, exhaust work done by a shop that doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Those are all pretty solid ways of ruining your exhaust system. Hey guys, sorry, I'm super excited about it, but I'm just not ready quite yet to announce the giveaway, but I know you'll enjoy it. I know you'll be happy about it. Some of you will really, really benefit from it, and I got some other excellent announcements as well. So please stick around, subscribe if you haven't already. You're gonna need to if you want to be involved with the giveaway anyway. So hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification as well, because you want to know when the next video comes out and I announce this giveaway. And that's all I got for right now. So thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your continued support. See you in the next one.